Exact count, but since taking office, the president has been in Pennsylvania more than a half a dozen times, more than any other state. Does that surprise you?
No, it doesn't surprise me in the least. Many of those trips were to help incumbent Senator Arlen Specter, first of all, hold on to, when he switched parties from Republican to Democrat, basically to gin up the folks to get behind Arlen. That didn't work, and then he's been here several times. It's a blue-collar state. It's an industrial state that is very, very important to the scheme of things. I mean, there's Ohio and then there's Pennsylvania. They're the twin behemoths that determine who's going to become president and who's going to stay president. And so he's made many trips here because, I mean, where else would he go? And so we've in many ways, we've benefited from seeing him up close and hearing what he has to say about the various programs he's enacted. And you know, if he can make a persuasive argument here, he can take it nationwide.
Republican Pat Toomey has been ahead in most of the polls. If you look at the summary from Real Clear Politics, which takes all the leading polls in every major state and congressional race, but some recent polling showing that Congressman Sestak has been narrowing the gap.
Yes, so? Yes. He's been narrowing the gap. People are starting to actually pay attention to what, you know, the coming election, especially here in Western Pennsylvania. You know, Pat Toomey is far more conservative than Rick Santorum, who lost in a landslide for his last senatorial bid. And Pat Toomey is a club of growth Republican, you know, probably a hard right Republican who is smart enough to be very low key. If he does win, it will be because he hasn't stepped on his tail or said anything controversial the way that Rick Santorum used to do regularly. And so, but it isn't because his ideas have won the argument. Pat Toomey has not engaged in as many debates as with Mr. Sestak as you would think would be required for the office of senator from Pennsylvania. The same thing with the Republican gubernatorial candidate, Tom Corbett. I mean, these Republicans are very clever about keeping their distance from the media and expressing their ideas so that the average person would get an inkling of how conservative they really are. I mean, this is a conservative class of politicians who are running for office, and it's only starting to get through.
And